Hey, this is Matt, and in today's video we're going to be going over showing another matchup here, this time against a player who plays Invoked Despia, right? So Despia decks have been popping up a lot more recently that I've noticed. And yeah, obviously the invocation, like invoke packages, is always obnoxious. But yeah, I guess the one reason I wanted to showcase this deck is just to show, like, ki make the argument that I've made before of why you should be running the Sky Striker Eagle Booster card, because it's just an amazing card. All right, so let's quickly get into it. Yeah, this was a 2-0 as well. All right, so I win the die roll and I go first. So in this case, I have multiple ways to get the Dragoon. I have Sky Engage is a one card Dragoon, Hornet Drones, Kagari, Kinda, Hornet Drones, Linkuriboh, Anaconda. Right. Um, I have I could special souls, some normal Ecclesia, Anaconda. Right. But the route I'm actually going to take is I'm going to take the Sky Striker Eagle Booster route because I want to make sure my Anaconda is protected. But also, it will give me more searches from. It'll thin my deck more than if I just did souls and right. So here's what I do. So summon token, token links into Kagari. Kagari will revive Engage. Will bring back Engage instead of Hornet Drones, because then I'm going to use Engage to grab Eagle Booster, right? So at this point, like I've thinned my deck more, right? Because I've used Engage twice, so I grab two cards out of my deck, rather than if I use Engage once and then recycle Hornet Drones, I would only grab one card. Yeah. Plus this is defense for Anaconda, right? So use Souls, send Dark Magician Girl, summon. I have my second body, Anaconda. And at this point, if my opponent um, had a, let's say, Effect Veil or Imperm, then I would chain Eagle Booster, right? But in this case they don't have it, and I just get my Dragoon. I set 2, Judgment, Solemn Strike, and now this Eagle Booster, which I did not need to use to defend Anaconda, is discard fodder for Dragoon, right? Because I'd rather discard this and hold Ecclesia so that next turn I can make plays with Ecclesia, right? Yeah, so worst case, they don't have a hand trap, and you just discard this as fodder. Best, is that worst case? I don't know. But either way, like they had a hand trap, I protect Anaconda, and I carry on. And then Ecclesia would be my discard, which is less ideal, but that's okay. All right, so let's see what they do. So normal Alistair. All right. I like to make this arguments. Alistair is usually the opening play. If you're playing Invoked Shadal's, Invoked Dogmatic, Invoked that, like whatever Invoked it may be, their first play will always be normal Alistair because most of the time they already have Invocation in hand, right? This is like like the Alistair is going to be a bait, but actually he does not search Invocation, so he either misclicked and like didn't click to search, or he doesn't have another Invocation, which I would be very surprised about. Wait, oh yeah, he does have more Invocations. Yes. Okay, that's what I thought. Okay, so he probably misclicked. But yeah, I would have let that search go through. Because again, you just have to assume that they have an invocation anyway, right? All right, so he goes in Almirage, uses invocation. At this point, I negate. Why do I negate? Because if this goes through, then Alistair and Almirage will fuse into Purgatrio. And if you don't know what Purgatrio does, it's a fire monster. 2300 attack, says gain 200 attack for every card your opponent controls. Since I control 4 cards, he'll gain 800 attack. He'll be at 3100 attack, and he can run over Dragoon. So therefore, I'm forced to discard this, to negate this. Now, I'm still kind of expecting, oh, maybe he has another invocation in hand. But even if he did, it wouldn't matter at this point, right? Invocation, like I have a 4000 Dragoon. Invocation will get him Mechaba or Purgatrio, neither of which can actually like go like fight and kill Dragoon at this point, right? So that's negated. Okay, and what does he try to do? He goes into Secure Gardener, uses a branded opening to grab the Aluber or whatever. And at this point, okay, he activates the effect, right? So a few things to note. So I know he has 2 cards in hand. He has the Jester, and if this effect goes through, he will my guess is that he will search the theater, because the theater is a field spell which will allow him to fusion summon, right? Um, so I'm thinking here, okay, so normally if you're facing this Despia deck, you don't want to negate the search for the theater, you usually want to negate the theater, right? So once the theater hits the field, right? So let's read what this says. Despia Theater is a once per turn, right? So no, right here, you can only use each effect of Despia Theater if branded once per turn. So what you want to do is you want when the theater hits the field, let them activate the card, and then when they try to activate the effect, the fusion summon, then you negate because it's a once per turn named effect, right? So in this case, because I already used my Dragoon Omnigate, Solemn Strike does not stop the theater, and Solemn Judgment would only stop them from activating the theater. I figure I'm just going to Solemn Strike this because because if let's say he has a theater in hand, what the hell is he going to fusion summon, right? I'm like, he has 2 cards in hand. I strike this. Let's say he plays theater. He doesn't have enough monsters to fuse. Actually, that's not true. He has Secure Gardener. Yeah, so if you have theater and one more monster, then Secure Gardener. Can that even make anything? Let me see. A light monster. Uh, so he would have to have one Despia monster, one light or dark monster. So yeah, I guess it's still possible he can fuse, but I still have Judgment, right? So it's yeah. I figured this was an okay negate here. Normally I wouldn't negate, but in this case I do. All right, and at this point he tries Fusion Destiny, because yeah, he is running the Destroyer Phoenix Enforcer, and rather than having to deal with that, I just say no. I don't want to deal with that. I mean, he could still have another Fusion Destiny hand, but whatever. Like, I think this is a good time to say no. So he tries to Lure of Darkness. Alright, so he has nothing. He just attacks Anaconda. And then on my turn, I simply pop Secure Gardener. You got Ecclesia. Yeah, and then he scoops. Yeah, because 4,000 damage and then Ecclesia plus Fleur de Lis is 5,000. So, yeah. So, yeah, in general, don't blow your Dragoon Negate on Alistair, like the first normal summon Alistair. Should save it. And yeah, usually hit the theater if you can. But again, think about the state of the game, how many cards they have in hand. Think about, whether it makes sense. And then, hold your. I like to hold my solemn cards for later because it's unknown information, right? The Dragoon Negate is known information, right? They know about it, so once you use it, they think they're in the clear, but they don't know that. Oh, you have a Solemn Judgment, Solemn Strike, right? Anyway, game 2, he lets me go first, and this time he does open an imperm, right? All right, so I have a few options here. I can go into Red Ash Fusion, and then I have Called by the Grave to protect it from Ash, and I know for a fact that he has Ash because I saw Ash in the previous game. But I'm actually going to go a different route. I'm going to go a slightly greedier route, and the reason that I think I can afford to go the greedier route is because I have Called by the Grave, right? Um, so let's see what the greedier route is. So in this case, I'm going to play Engage, grab Hornet Drones. Drones makes the token. Token goes into this, grabs Engage again. Engage grabs Eagle Booster. So I thin out my deck more by going this route, right? And because I'm going this route, I'm actually going to use Souls to send Red Eye Fusion to the graveyard to draw a card. So people saying, "Oh, why run more than Ref?" Well, here you go. Like, the other 2 copies of Ref are a brick. No, you can just use them to draw more cards from Souls, right? So in this case, I drew Eternal Soul, which is a nice draw. All right, and then I go into Anaconda. He immediately imperms, which is what I was expecting / hoping for, and then ta-da, bam, Eagle Booster, baby, and now Anaconda is protected. Yeah, you should seriously run Eagle Booster. Like, every time I have it, every time I use it, it's one of the most satisfying cards to play, right? Because like they think they have they have you figured out. Oh, you're gonna go into Anaconda, you're gonna get Dragoon, like you're just a turbo Dragoon deck, right? So they're gonna save their freaking negate for the Anaconda, and then bam, you hit them with the Eagle Booster, and then they just feel like fools, right? Anyway, so yeah, I went the greedier route, and I was able to get my Dragoon. So in this case, I don't set Eternal Soul because going into their turn, I don't know what they're going to have, but I figured, okay, Called by the Grave is probably good because, if he links Alistair away and he plays Invocation, I immediately Call by the Grave and banish Alistair, and then Invocation is either dead or he has to make it a suboptimal fusion, right? And then, Skill Drain just in case, like, he brings out he manages to bring out another boss monster. And yeah, so I'd have to discard Eternal Soul if I want to use my Dragoon Negate, but that's okay because I feel like these cards are a bit more impactful at this point. Like Soul is just gonna bring a body on the field, and I don't even have a Rod to recycle. So anyway, so he's actually gonna instantly scoop. Actually, no, he's gonna draw first, and then he's gonna scoop. All right, so yeah, sucks that he scooped, but I mean, if you look at his hand, like, what the hell else is he gonna do? So Fusion Destiny is once per turn, so the fact that he has two means it's useless. Ash does nothing on his turn, and he has one normal summon, either Albert or Alistair, right? If he goes the invocation route, links Alistair, I immediately call by the grave, right? If he tries Fusion Destiny, I'll probably allow, uh, the Destroyer Phoenix, and then I just skill drain. And then at that point, it's like I have a 3K beater, and there's no monster that I'm aware of that he can make that can beat that. If he goes the Albert route, let's see. I guess he would have to, bring the theater. When the theater activates, I negate with Dragoon, and so he can only go one of the two routes, right? Either Albert or the Alistair, right? He can't do both. So yeah, Alistair comes in, searches invocation, links invocation call by the grave. So that's that path solved. Albert summon theater, grab theater, theater activates, tries to fusion summon, Dragoon negate theater, and fusion like yeah, I guess his secondary play is fusion destiny, but like Destroyer Phoenix cannot match up against Dragoon. Like it's just a weaker monster. And worst case, if he tries to like I don't know do some shenanigans, I have skill drain. So yeah, I can see why he scooped. Like this is not a great hand. But yeah, anyway, yeah. So I guess I just wanted to show this replay so that you know that A, Eagle Booster is amazing. Please run the card, and B, um, I mean he didn't bring out the Destroyer Phoenix, but Destroyer Phoenix like it's clear, it's so clear that Destroyer Phoenix is weaker than Dragoon that he didn't even bother like playing. Right? He knew that Destroyer Phoenix wasn't gonna get him anywhere against my board. So anyway, yeah. So that was an amusing game. Yeah. Run Sky if you're running a Sky Striker package in Dark Magician, which you should absolutely, absolutely, absolutely run Eagle Booster. It's just every time I have it, it's just a gem of a card. And like, worst case, it's either Dragoon discard fodder or Souls discard and draw more fodder, right? Like it's I don't know, it's a great card. All right, thanks for watching. Peace.